In today's lecture, we'll be understanding the provisions for filing return of income and self-assessment. This is your CA Intermediate course, Paper 4, Taxation. And I am CA Pravesh Agi, who will be the professor for this lecture. So let's do question number 5. Explain the provisions relating to permanent account number under section 139A. Now let's understand the provisions relating to permanent account number. Now, all the persons who have not been allotted a permanent account number can apply to the assessing officer. First, every person whose total income or the total income of any other person in respect of which he is assessable under this Act during any previous year exceeded the basic exemption limit. This means all persons whose income has exceeded the basic exemption limit in the previous year should apply to the assessing officer for allotment of a permanent account number. Now, all those persons who are carrying either a business or profession and whose sales or turnover or gross receipts have exceeded or likely to exceed rupees 5 lakhs in the previous financial year. Now here, the central government has power to notify that certain persons who are liable to pay tax either under the Income Tax Act or under any other law to apply for a PAN number within a certain specified time period, and they need to apply to their relevant assessing officer for allotment of PAN. Now here, the central government has power to notify that certain persons need to apply for PAN, and this is for the purpose of collecting some information which may be very useful or which may be very relevant for the purposes of the Income Tax Act. Now further, the assessing officer can also allot a PAN to any person, and this has to be done in a manner and accordance with the procedure which has been prescribed under the income tax rules. And even if the person is not liable to pay tax, the assessing officer can allot a PAN to him. Now, even any person can apply to assessing officer for allotment of a PAN, and the assessing officer shall allot a PAN to such person immediately. Now, PAN is issued in form of a laminated card, and it consists of 10 alphanumeric characters. Quoting of PAN is mandatory in all documents which are being described below. In all your returns, any correspondence with any income tax authority, whenever you make any payments under the Income Tax Act, in all challans, in all documents and transactions entered by an assessee as may be prescribed by the Central Board of Direct Taxes, and which may be in the interest of the revenue. Now, if there is a change in the address or the name and nature of business of a person on the basis of which the PAN was allotted to him, he should immediately intimate such change to the assessing officer. Now, it is very important that the PAN number should be intimated to the person who deducts tax at source. Now, every person who receives any amount from which the tax has been deducted at source shall intimate his PAN to the person responsible for deducting such tax. Now, let's understand that in certain documents, permanent account number has to be given or it has to be quoted. Now, whenever any amount has been paid after deducting at tax at source, the person who is responsible for deducting such amount, it is his responsibility to quote the PAN of the person to whom the amount was paid in certain documents. The statement, which is furnished under section 192C, this is with regarding salary payments. In all certificates for tax deducted issued to a person to whom the payment is made, and in all returns prescribed by the Income Tax Authority under section 206, and in all statement prepared and delivered under section 200 subsection 3. Now the requirement to intimate PAN and quote PAN number is not applicable for certain persons. Those persons who do not have taxable income or who is not required to obtain PAN if the such person furnishes a declaration under section 197A in a prescribed form and manner, the tax on his estimated total income for that previous year will be nil.